Today, I want to make a tier list to predict who is going to be in Project L. And today I am joined by my good friends Austin and Kennedy, who both play fighting games and League of Legends. Far more League than I do. Welcome.
Far more League than fighting games too.
Yeah, that's also true. But I need that experience because y'all know the characters way better than I do. But I'm super excited for this game, and I looked into the dev philosophy behind this, and so they always care about the DNA, which is the design, the narrative, and then the art. They want champs who are going to improve the gameplay of the game, and also their fantasy, that character's fantasy, would be enhanced by being in Project L. So those are the main things that I kind of want to focus on in terms of our, discussion. Well, let's break down the tiers for our audience so they know what they're in for. So at the top of the list, we have characters that we have seen in the game engine. They're in there, as far as we know. They are in there. We've got Ahri, Darius, Echo, Jinx, Illaoi, and Katarina. And then launch predictions are who we think is going to be in the base roster of the game. And we're probably going to have to pare this down because there's only so many slots that we can really give this to. And then after that, if they have the DNA to be in the video game, but we don't think they're going to be at launch, we're going to put them in that tier. Below that, there would be an unexpected pick, but a welcome one. Below that, if you're unexpected and unwelcome, I don't want you in the game if you're in that tier. And lastly, the last two tiers are background character or UI element of some kind, maybe like a character incorporated with a super of some kind or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically not a direct character, but they are still technically in the game. And then absolutely no involvement with the game whatsoever. And we're going to do it alphabetical order, just like my soup. So how about Aatrox?
So I'm probably gonna be touching a lot on the characters that I play in top lane because I main top and I play a lot of characters. And I guess the way that I'm gonna mostly be approaching this is we'll probably thinking about three things, which is how much is the champion a face of League of Legends? How much is it culturally significant? How much is its League of Legends gameplay gonna transfer over to a fighting game and be fun? And how popular is that champion in general? I think Aatrox probably meets the latter two really well. I think that it could be a really good fighting game character, and I think it's fairly popular. I just don't see him as being the face, so I put him at unexpected but welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think so. I'm always down for a Darken. But the problem that I have with Aatrox when thinking about it in terms of a fighting game is there's a lot of characters that parallel Aatrox. I think you can make an argument that obviously they're not identical, but Darius and Aatrox in a fighting game, they accomplish essentially the same thing. So I think that's the case for a lot of these champions. Now, obviously, having played Smash, we know that any character can be made out of any source material, and if they really want to do it, they'll figure it out. But I don't think Aatrox brings enough to the table by being Aatrox that other characters don't also.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I like unexpected but welcome for him because I would love to see him, but I just don't see it. Now, Akali
is a launch.
She's on launch.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think Akali's on launch. You gotta have your token ninja.
She's such a swift ninja, which is it's a very iconic thing for fighting games. There's Ibuki in Street Fighter. We've got Chip in Guilty Gear. Ninjas are very common in fighting games. She fulfills that fantasy. Yeah, she fulfills that fantasy so well in League that they can ramp her up in fucking Project L so hard, and on top of that, she is a face of League of Legends.
She is absolutely.
She really is.
Yeah, she really
the whole
is.
KDA thing and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will eat my shoe if Akali is not in this game.
I will hold you to that.
I would also eat your shoe.
Now. This is on record.
Eat your own shoe. Shoes cost money.
I don't want to eat my shoe. You're already eating your shoe. We may as well let me eat the other one. It's not like you're going to use them anymore.
Okay, so how about Akshan?
No shot.
Unexpected and unwelcome.
I agree. Fuck that guy.
So, so here's the deal with Akshan. He is an alphabet soup of passives. Passives obviously aren't going to translate to Project L in the same way that they work in League of Legends. So that takes away a lot of the meaning for them.
Yeah.
He's super fast, able to zip around a 3D environment with his grappling hook, and that's neat, but it doesn't lend itself well to a 2D environment. And on top of that, his main shtick is that he brings his allies back from the dead when he gets killed.
Yeah.
And I just don't see that working in a fighting game. I think there's nothing in particular like iconic about Akshan. I think his mechanics won't translate well, and I just kind of think he sucks.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Fuck that guy. Don't want him in the game.
I'm gonna. My only different opinion is that he would be a good background character.
Would he?
I think so. Yeah, especially when they if they ever start playing around with the Sentinels business. Like he's apparently like a pretty big part of the Sentinel story. So if they do I don't know, like a Sentinels stage maybe, or if there's a character that has like a Sentinels oriented super that stars a bunch of cameos, I could totally see him there. But I agree. I don't want him either. I hate Akshan.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
I'm glad we're all in agreement on that one. Now, Alistar, I think he's got the DNA for it.
I think he does. Yeah,
so
I think he's got
cool.
the DNA. Yeah.
Great character. Iconic from early League because of like players like Afromu back when I fucking paid attention to the game and actually enjoyed it. That character was so fun to watch, and they've tweaked him a lot so he's not even close to the same character, but I feel like in a fighting game he can really flex what Alistar is about. I want to see him on launch, but I can't make that hard to read.
I don't
just
think
can't.
he's on launch. I don't think he is because I don't think he's popular enough for it.
Not anymore.
But I think he fits the archetype of like a big bruiser in a fighting game really well. When I say big bruiser, I mean like way bigger and bruisier than Darius. He's 10. And I think
like Potemkin levels of bruiser.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And not just that, but he's also all about going forward and crashing into you and ruining your life.
Yep.
So I could see him having all
his
kinds of
assists.
Knockups.
His assist would be so fun. Just knocking people like millions of feet in the air and just comboing the shit out of them with like pulling them down with Darius or something like that. Yeah, he's got the DNA. I want him in the game. Get him in there. Riot, watch this video and get him in there.
He's also, there's a particular like League of Legends splash image that is coming to mind that I know that he's like the forefront of.
Yeah.
So I think he's big there. Actually, funnily enough, I went to LeagueOfLegends.com to see if I could find it there. I couldn't, but there's a little section showing off like that you can buy skins for the game, and it's just a graphic of a Akali and her skin is cycling through. So like again, Akali's in for sure. But
yeah, she's on the website. She's in the game.
I want Alistar for sure. I want to see him in there.
I totally agree. Now Amumu, because blue woman is nothing, but Amumu. So
background.
So I think background. We were trying to make viewer. We're gonna reel you in behind the scenes. We were trying to make this list earlier. Austin's experiencing internet troubles, so if he dips out randomly, that's just the way that goes. But he made a good point that Amumu would be an awesome punching bag, or like.
Like a
training dummy. Yeah, I think he's perfect for it because
he's already crying.
Yeah, he is, and it's funny to beat up a crying thing sometimes.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Not just that, but if he was in the game, you'd have to get touched with his creepy mummy bandages, and I don't like that.
Yeah, it's icky. So
I don't think he's. Yeah, I agree.
Anivia, no shot on Anivia.
No shot. Yeah.
No she just doesn't. She doesn't translate well. Her abilities.
Nope.
Don't lend themselves well to a fighting game. Her passive literally could not exist in a fighting game. Also, most people don't really care for her.
Yeah. People really don't tend to care for her too much. I just feel as though what can she offer that other characters like Ahri would just be more hype. So next is Annie.
Yes.
I've got a hard read on this one. Annie is in a launch.
I like the hard read. I'm way into this read. I think this is a Galaxy Brain level play, and I'm 100% for it.
So
what's the
here's
reason
why
here?
I think Annie's in launch. Back when League launched, and I didn't give a crap about it, I remember I could not see a single piece of League of Legends promo material without Annie on it.
Yeah.
Furthermore, none of these characters that are confirmed in or that we have predicted will be in are puppet characters.
Yep.
And what better champion to have as a puppet character than Annie?
Yeah. Yep. I could totally see
Just
that.
controlling Tibbers, casting spells, being annoying. I'll hate her. I'll never play her, but I think she's in.
Yeah,
I
Enchantress
think
and
if you're-
DNF Duel exists. That's
Yeah.
basically Annie. So
I think
Yeah.
if you're gonna have a puppet character out of the League roster, you really can't have a better one than Annie.
I can't really think. I can think of a different one, and I'll mention it when we get to them. But Annie is definitely
I know who you're
the
thinking of.
maybe.
No.
Oh,
All right.
Oh yeah. I
So,
did.
so
next?
I think I also agree. Annie's probably in. What the heck is this guy's name? Or
Ophelio.
Aphelios. What
Mm.
what do we think about Aphelios? The weapon
No.
swapper.
No shot.
No shot.
So
There's
That's
no way
where
this guy's
I'm
in the
at,
game.
kind of.
I don't think so because now take this with a grain of salt. I don't like Aphelios. I think he's a pretty dumb character, but the weapon swapping could be a really cool and unique mechanic. It sucks that it would be on Aphelios, but it could be really cool.
Similar to like a stance swap or something like that.
Yeah, and you can just cycle through his weapons.
I think
So-
he'd be unexpected. I'm gonna say welcome because I like the idea of
Yeah.
a stance character that has like completely different weapon sets. Essentially, if he had like a bunch of different stances, like a fucking Tekken character, that would be absurd. But I'd be kind of into that too. But again, I think that's like a later entry, not a launch character. So,
Agreed.
Here's my reasoning.
mhm.
I think he's no shot. I also don't think he's welcome.
Damn.
I would argue that I like Aphelios. And I wouldn't even put him in unexpected and unwelcome. I'd put him in just no shot.
Okay.
I like him. I don't think his gameplay is going to be. The stance idea is interesting. There is another champion that I'm thinking of that will accomplish that better. And we'll get to them.
Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of why I'm putting him in unexpected but welcome, because if they
I don't want him in there.
so the reason why I say unexpected is because I've read through a lot of the dev articles and they want this game to last a very long time. They have specifically mentioned multiple years and even decades, and that might be hyperbole. It probably is in some way, but think of the staying power of League of Legends as a video game, as an IP, and this is an extension of that. And we're talking about two industry figureheads of fighting games with Tom and Tony Cannon leading the charge. Like, the guys, one of the guys made rollback netcode, basically. So, I think they want this game to last a long time. I think on a long enough timeline, Aphelios gets in.
I'd agree with. I don't think he's soon.
I
at
don't
all.
think
I
he's
think
seen
he's
it
like
all.
years.
Yeah, I think he's year 3 or some shit like that. But I'd be happy to see him in.
I'd be willing to bet money that he never makes it in. That's
Damn.
my
Damn.
prediction.
How
I
much?
think I put down like $20 down that he
20
never
bucks?
gets in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
you can hold me to that. I'd unironically be down.
Okay.
So-
There are characters that do the gun thing better. There are characters that do the stance thing better. Aphelios has not been popular really since his release.
Damn.
His only popularity came from being like tuned really well and having like a good competitive scene. But other than that, like he's always been known as a really challenging character to play. I don't think he's in.
So the last thing I'll say about it, and then we're going to move on to Ash, is the main thing that they're trying to do is enhance the fantasy of playing these characters. And I think that's absolutely something that could happen within Project L. Again, long enough timeline. So that's
I would
what
say let's leave him in an unexpected but welcome. And
Mhm.
Kennedy supposedly has someone who he thinks would do the stance swapping better. And when we get to that champion, if we want to move him, let's move.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna edit this list for sure. This is this is like rough draft. So, but
Sure,
maybe we should probably pick up the pace a little bit,
Yeah.
because we could get deep into every character if we want to, but we don't have to. So, and there's a lot of characters.
There sure are. Let's move on.
So let's move
go to
on. Ash. No shot.
Yeah, I'd probably say
shot.
no shot.
Yeah.
I do think Ash
At
has
most,
like the cultural
at most
presence.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%
At most,
agree
yes.
with that.
I think that's
Yeah.
as high as they go.
I would agree. Ash, she just doesn't bring anything unique.
Yeah.
I feel. I feel like she just doesn't do anything that other characters don't in an interesting way.
Yeah.
I feel like they can really inflate her fantasy with that.
Yeah. I think she could have some unique assist abilities because she is a very, she's not a character that does well by herself. She needs someone else with her in lane, and that's why she has, the ADC role. I guess there's sometimes, a mid-Ash or whatever, but, it's very uncommon for her to not be paired with someone. So, I don't know. I just feel like Ash probably could be some kind of something, but I think there's more interesting characters that you could enhance the fantasy for. So, Aurelion Sol,
I'm gonna go
okay.
with that.
I need to make the case
on the
for
rework.
Aurelion Sol. He's about to have a rework. He's
Yeah.
about to have a rework. Not just that, but his fantasy. Aurelion Sol is the most shit on League character in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares. Very few people play him. He's historically the lowest pick rate champion that exists. And it's because they can't get his design right. Keep in mind, Aurelion Sol is a literal god. Okay? I think there's a lot of opportunity to enhance his fantasy, and especially depending on how the rework goes. I think Aurelion Sol could be really cool in a fighting game, but he really does not have the popularity. So I think he could be sick. I'd kind of like to see him, but I really doubt it.
I think this is as high as he goes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I call him as a background character.
I think he's too powerful, in lore-wise.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
When you put him like that, I think about it and I'm like, if he's fighting against Darius, he would destroy him. He would destroy him.
Shinra Tensei.
Now Azir, they got the DNA for it, baby.
Yeah.
I want him in so bad.
I would love to see Azir. They'd be a really good puppet character too, actually.
They would.
But in a different way. The puppet's not so static. He can spawn sand soldiers and use them to attack.
Yeah.
Kind of the way that Zed does already in League.
Yeah. Very cool. Cool character.
His ultimate just lends itself perfectly to a fighting game, just kind of like a get off me button. Love to see Azir.
Now Bard.
I want Barden so bad.
I want him in. This is as high as I'm willing to put him, though.
I think he's no shot.
I don't even think that. Yeah, that might be too high. I don't see the peace-loving little guy zipping around everywhere. I just don't see that in Project L based on what they've showed us in terms of gameplay.
Hear me out. I'm going to pitch a scene to you.
No.
They got a stage. It's a Targon stage. And every so often you see Aurelion Sol fly by. Every so often you see Bard fly by. Every so often you see Volibear and Ornn fight each other in the background. I could see him being a background character.
Yeah.
He could be a background character.
I'll give you
He's
that.
Definitely not. I'll concede that.
I will concede that. Now Blitzcrank.
Oof.
I want him
Dude,
up.
I do too.
That'd be awesome.
There's a part of me that wants to say launch prediction, honestly.
That's fair. He's a very iconic character.
As a grappler.
I kind of disagree with this. I think that Thresh fills this role a lot better. I think Blitzcrank, while cool and within the context of League, very cool. I don't think he has the appeal to be in. He's just kind of very generic looking.
Damn, I love Blitzcrank's design.
I think
I do too, but I don't think it's flashy enough to be this guy needs to be in the game. I think if you want someone that's going to have a grab like that, a long-ranged hook kind of deal, you're better off going with Thresh or Pike.
So I think that the ultimate fantasy of Thresh is playing him in League of Legends because that game is toxic as fuck, and Thresh's kit is evil and mean. And
It is.
Blitzcrank, I can just see being way more fun to play and watch than the Thresh would be for me. I'd just rather see Thresh with the lantern and everything, pulling your ally in. I just feel like that the way his kit is in my head, he's a League character. He's not a Project L character.
plus like
fuck.
watching
All right, Thresh.
Blitzcrank like.
Let's get.
Oh yeah, I'll just grab him
here.
real
Yeah.
quick. I could see him being a background character, but
Yeah,
watching
I could
like
see him being-
Blitzcrank do like punches and shit, and doing uppercuts, like you could even give him an install, and he like superpowers and like has lightning on his stuff. There's a lot of potential.
We
with
saw
Blitzcrank, I'd say.
footage. We saw footage of a project. I forget what the internal word is for it, but there's a project that they're working on. It's an action RPG similar to like Diablo. It's overhead, and Blitzcrank was a playable character as far as we saw from the promotional material. So if they're trying to market, I feel like that's a good thing. You know,
I think he
when
at
you're
least has the
mixing stuff like
DNA
that.
for it.
Yeah,
no matter
I think
how
he
you
does.
spin it.
I think he does too.
Brand.
Brand absolutely has the DNA.
Yeah.
Really?
Fire
Oh,
mage.
absolutely. He's a fire mage.
Really?
Not
We
just
already have
that, but-
Annie.
Yeah, but Annie would play fundamentally differently than Brand because Annie is a fire mage, but she's also primarily a puppet character. Brand is just like fire zoner, and you don't even have to make him a zoner. He could get up on you and just like punch you and fire
There's
blast out.
so many characters that they can pick from. I'm not. This isn't a hill that I'm willing to die on, but I don't see Brand in the game.
I see
I
him as
think-
unexpected but welcome for right now. Like, if he does show up and he's a really cool fire mage, I'm all for it. As of right now, I think Kennedy makes a great point about Annie being a fire mage, and there's other fire mages in the cast or fiery characters, quite a few of them.
I feel like he's so fluid. You can make him play however you want, but
He's
I'll
not fluid,
concede.
he's fire.
We can revisit.
Whatever.
Now, Braum, get him in there.
I'd love to see him. Yeah, I'd
No,
love to see
I think
Braum
he's
in there.
unexpected but welcome. No, he's certainly not.
I think I agree with Austin. I think he's unexpected but welcome.
Yeah,
I'd love
I
to
would.
see him in there. I do think he probably has the DNA for it, but there's probably other characters that do what he does.
Big shield guy would be cool.
Yeah.
He would be cool, but they also
Ooh.
need to find that work really well and feel engaging and not just like I'm really good at blocking and not winning the game. you know?
Yeah.
Maybe there's an argument that like Braum would be the anti-projectile character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You
He
could
totally
make that
could be,
argument for
and
sure.
I'd love to see him. I just don't know. I don't think it's likely.
I'm putting Caitlyn down here.
I fully agree with this. I do not think Caitlyn's going to be a fighter with Jinx in there as like the shooter,
Yeah.
but she will definitely show up as a background character.
Yep.
I think that raises an interesting point about ADCs in general. So
Yeah.
many of ADCs are just kind of shooty boys. And I think we're going to have to really evaluate those, but I
Yeah.
ultimately agree with Caitlyn. Her kit is just long-range Jinx.
Yeah.
That's it.
Camille, Austin
Has
felt
the
pretty
DNA.
strongly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a really hard read. I think
she's-
she's a launch prediction. And
Really?
Here is why. We don't know when this game is coming out. I know they're working on season 2 of Arcane. Again, I will eat my shoe if Warwick is not in Arcane. And who's going to hunt down Warwick if he's in Arcane?
I
Camille.
don't know. Does Camille's more of like a Jin hunter than anything.
She's anything. hunter.
It's true. In either case, like I would either put it in launch prediction or DNA. I think she'll be in the game eventually. I'm not convinced she'll be on launch.
I think
I'm
depends
interested
a
in
lot.
launch.
Okay.
I think the launch window depends a lot, but I think she's like built for a game like this. I think Camille in
Absolutely.
this
Yeah.
game would be.
Yeah. She will be in the game.
More than likely. Cassiopeia.
No shot
no
for
shot.
me.
mean-
Unexpected and unwelcome isn't bad either.
I don't really
Imagine
wanna
she
see her
has
in there.
like an ability that she like puts her goop puddles on the floor, and that makes it so that you can't like jump or dash or
That
whatever.
sounds annoying and unfun.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
pretty bad, but it is Cassiopeia. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in
I
a
don't
game
know,
like
man.
League, it's fine that she can limit dashes and things like that. In a fighting game, that's really hard to balance around. I was watching the grand finals for Guilty Gear, and Happy Chaos can summon a fucking clone that basically puts a wall there that you have to like punch through, and because he can attack from full screen, when you're trying to approach like that and you're like physically blocked, you're basically checkmated. So I don't want to see her. I think what she would add would not be fun to play against. Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath. Man.
Background character.
Yeah, I think so too.
Really?
I just don't think
Yeah.
he is less interesting than a lot of bruisers that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's less interesting than a lot of tanks that are out there. For example, like I would class him with Alistar, and I think Alistar is a much better fit for a game like that.
Yeah. Okay. Quirky.
No shot.
I think he's no shot.
Yeah, that's fair. He's so weird.
He's so weird. He just talks about the war, and I don't see how
Yeah.
it translates.
Diana.
Diana,
DNA? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Diana, absolutely.
Mhm.
Why do you think she doesn't?
So the other thing that I'm gonna do, where the hell is she? There she
Leona?
is. Yeah, I'm gonna do this because these
Yeah.
characters are related pretty much.
Right.
Sun
yeah.
and Moon bullshit.
Yeah.
I think Leona. Actually, Leona. Yeah, I think they have the DNA for it because they're such a. They go in, man.
I do think that they have the DNA for it. I think that they're gonna have to have some Targon pick, and I'm not convinced it's not gonna be Pantheon.
Yeah.
But I could see either of these being in the game for sure.
I just think that either of these characters, their fantasy and their unique weaponry and just the way their characters are and their very strong personalities would fit really well in a fighting game.
Yeah, I'd love to see Leona for sure. Probably more so than Diana.
I like Diana personally, but yeah, I think both would be good. Both are good.
Yeah. Let's see. Draven.
It's got the DNA.
Draven
You think he's gonna be a launch?
I don't think
he's
he's
launched.
You don't?
Yeah,
Okay.
No, I think he's got the DNA for it though.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm imagining a mid-range kind of projectile thing where you get damage up for actually managing to grab your axes again, and he's super complex.
His positioning.
Super cool.
Yeah. He'd be really fun. That's kind of why I think he's like a launch guy because he's very popular. When you think of League of Legends, Draven is one of those top 10 characters that comes to mind. So for me, I think he sounds really fun to play because he's fun to play in League, and his kit has a lot to do with positioning, which is very important in fighting games. And he has a unique weapon too. So for me, it's a launch prediction. I think he's going to be in there. And damn, he would have the best taunts. Easy, right?
Oh
He'd have the best win quotes.
It would be part of his kit.
Yeah,
he'd be like Beowulf. I would say.
Oh fuck yeah! A mid-range Beowulf sounds disgusting. Actually,
yeah. I don't think he'll be on launch, mostly because I think they're only going to have so many on launch, and I think others will just trump him a little bit. But I do think he'll be in the game.
I'm gonna keep him there, and then we'll pare down the list. Okay. Mundo
on launch.
Really?
Yeah, because Mundo's whole thing is that he's like
that's where he pleases.
No. He's from Zon, and he was created from the whole whatever the chemical is in Arcane. So he has really heavy tie-in with Arcane. I actually am gonna bet that he's in the next season of Arcane.
But you think he's more likely to show up than Warwick?
I think they'll both show up.
But what does Mundo add to this roster that we're predicting is going to be there on launch? Darius.
He's definitely got he's got the bruiser presence. He's got the poke presence. He can have some grappler to it. Who knows? Maybe he'll even have some healing mechanics and be one of the few champions with healing mechanics.
God, I hope not.
He also is just really goofy and funny and really fun to watch him look. And you can do a lot with his character in a fighting game.
I think berserking is also something that he's very good at, and a berserker is very common in fighting games. So I'm willing to give up.
That's true. He's going to
use.
Yeah, he could use his health similar to Berserker and DNF Duel.
Yeah, very, very similar. Elise, no shot.
No shot.
Moving on. Evelyn, no thanks.
I don't expect... Really?
Why unwelcome?
I don't know, because the succubus assassin thing, I have a hard time figuring out how her kit would fit, or how the fantasy would be better by being in a fighting game.
Yeah, I could defer to that.
I can see that.
Yeah, because
I think the problem is you'd have to play very similarly to someone like a Kali, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about that,
well,
but I wouldn't
have
say she's unwelcome.
She could have a lot. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. I don't expect her to be in. She could have a lot of butt tentacle attacks. It's very possible. And she could have some kind of
teleport shenanigans.
Or some weird form of stealth, how this is a platform fighter comparison, but Forsburn and Rivals, He has the smoke that he can conceal himself in, so you know where he is. Akali also has smoke. Like you know where they are, but you can't quite tell exactly what they're doing, and that's what makes it deadly. So there's potential there.
Now that you mention Akali, I actually think Akali accomplishes what Evelyn does. So I don't think Evelyn's going to be in the game.
I think I feel comfortable leaving her in Unexpected But Welcome, though, because if she was in the game, I would have no problems with it. I think I could make it work cool.
Yeah.
I think a long enough timeline, having... yeah, I think on a long enough timeline, Evelyn could be in.
Agreed.
Yeah. Ezreal.
I think he has the DNA for it.
Yeah.
Really?
Typical zoner.
Might be a hot take, but I do not.
Is he
just
here?
I mean, like, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing Ezreal in the game, and he is popular, and he is, like, relatively iconic, right? I just can't really imagine him doing fighting moves. Like, I can't imagine him punching or kicking or anything, because he's always just leaned really heavily into using his gauntlet.
Yeah.
And maybe you could play around with that. I just
mean,
don't see him being a fighting game character.
So Axel in Guilty Gear doesn't really punch much, and he has like a lot of range stuff. So I think Ezreal could get some like cool juggles with the magic from his gauntlet, and it could probably enhance like some of what makes Ezreal cool is like the power of the gauntlet. So I think he's got the DNA for it. I think he's a classic zoner, and he's annoying to deal with in fucking League. So I think he's perfect for the zoner archetype.
I would agree with that.
Fiddlesticks.
Background character.
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I put this...
Can you imagine Fiddlesticks jumping?
Yeah, I can.
Really?
Yeah, because I just think of Faust from Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
So I put him at Unexpected But Welcome. I'd love to see Fiddlesticks in. I think he's got...
I think he'd be cool.
He's got a cool character. Yeah, I don't think he'll be in the game either, for sure. But I could see him being in the game, and I could see him being fun to play.
Okay.
Plus, crow projectiles would be kind of cute.
Yeah, that would be fun. Fiora.
She has
got the DNA. Yeah,
she's
I don't think
so
much
much
else needs to be said. Terry's.
Ooh, yeah, like a counter character. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Fizz.
Unexpected and unwelcome. Fuck.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that guy.
Yeah.
I do not want to deal with him getting on top of his stick while I'm trying to mid-range poke him and then him just jumping on me. He'd be so hard to anti-air. No thanks.
I don't think it enhances his fantasy. Real talk, if we're gonna get into why I think he should be there, I don't think it enhances his fantasy. I don't think his kit really lends itself to the fighting game in any way. I don't think anyone's afraid of getting punched by Fizz. I can't imagine what kind of character he would even be in a fighting game.
Yeah. Galio.
He has the DNA for it.
Oh yeah. I love Galio's animations currently. That they just remind me of beating people up. So yeah, I think he's in there potentially. I like they have the DNA for it for that one. Gangplank.
I think he also has the DNA for it. I want to say he's a launch prediction because I'm noticing in our launch predictions we have no one yet from Bilgewater or Demacia, and I don't think that is going to stand as the final roster. But I think he could be really cool with like placing his barrels and using
Alawi is Bilgewater, actually.
Oh, she is Bilgewater. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think he's like a launch prediction, but I think there's a lot of opportunity for Gangplank's kit.
I'd agree with Unexpected But Welcome. I actually don't see him being in the game, maybe at any point, but if not for like a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Garen, probably DNA, if not launch.
Here's the deal, though, and I really want to say launch because it's Garen.
Right.
But what does Garen do that Darius doesn't in a fighting game? Garen do?
So Garen's Holy Man.
Okay,
and he does the Johnny Bravo dance.
He does do the Johnny Bravo dance.
Yeah, the monkey.
But how is that different in gameplay? So
in terms of gameplay, he probably would not play too much different from Darius, but Darius is probably going to be way more nefarious and like mean about the way he gets stuff, whereas Garen's going to be way more honest and like just straightforward. because that's how his personality is. And I also feel as though his fantasy, Garen's a very simple character to play in League of Legends. I'm not going to say boring, just because I don't particularly like playing them all the time. I'm sure there's a Garen main out there, that they exist. But he's a very straightforward, simple character, and I think that he's I just think he's a great fit for that role. He reminds me a lot of Kai. Another
say that.
Another thing, oh my god. Another thing I want to bring up is that in developer information for Rising Thunder, the game that the studio was originally working on before they got bought out by Riot, there were icons for the different characters' special moves because they're on cooldowns, and the icons used were from Garen and from Lucian. So I don't know. It's super placeholder asset stuff, so it could just be that, but I don't know. I think he's a very iconic character.
What?
I agree that he's iconic, and I think the fact that he's in the files is the best case for him to be in a launch. I don't see how they're going to differentiate them in a super meaningful way.
So
that's my biggest hurdle with it.
My argument is that he's going to be in the game because Darius is in the game. The Darius Garen rivalry is probably the most iconic League of Legends rivalry.
True.
That's fair.
Especially with Katarina too. Garen's Katarina's rival as well.
Yeah, Katarina's in love with Garen.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's why she wants to murder him. Now, Gnar, I think would be sick.
Really? I don't.
Oh yeah, dude.
Build up rage.
No
you become big
He's
guy.
a zoner.
I don't
He's
think
a zoner until he
no
gets
way.
rage, and then he plays like a berserker.
But
Absolutely.
I think he's here. I think
I think
really is.
I'd put him there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He also
where I
broke the store when he came out in League of Legends. So
Cool.
that's something to think about, is that their storefront broke when he was released because too many people were buying him.
I don't know about that because Riot doesn't have the greatest track record with.
The league storefront will break if you sneeze.
I know.
Yeah.
But it was,
Yeah.
at the time, it was uncommon. So it was not very common that the storefront would break that hard.
I think he's
it
unexpected.
seemed, yeah, I think he's unexpected.
I like this.
Now this guy, oh yeah.
No.
Gragas? Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
here's the deal. I
Gragas
think
is going to
he
be in
does
the
have
game.
He has the DNA for it, but there is not a prayer in hell that Gragas gets.
Dude,
You're crazy.
Gragas
Never.
this is another one that I bet money on. I would bet money
Yeah,
Gragas
same.
is going to be in the game.
Same.
No, man.
Yeah, he's got the DNA for it.
He's the what's
You said it
his
yourself.
hold on, what's his subtitle? I'm pulling this up.
Yeah,
He's the rabble rouser, bro. You gotta
is
have
the
the
rabble
rabble rouser in the fighting game.
I think he would be really cool. I just don't think he's popular enough to be in the game.
I disagree.
I don't think people care about Gragas.
Dude, I care about Gragas.
Yeah.
I don't even
When was the
play
last
him.
time you played Gragas?
I don't need to play him to care about him. He's sick. He's iconic.
I agree. I think he's sick. I don't think he's iconic, and I don't think people care. But I will concede it. I would put him in unexpected but welcome personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I could get down with that.
I think his fantasy would be awesome. A
do too.
drunken brawler, big body, sounds great.
Yeah,
I think
agree
his
with that.
fantasy will be cool.
Yeah. So he's got the DNA for it. Now Graves, this one.
I
think
disagree.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Graves is so popular, and
He is.
he is also quite iconic when it comes to League of Legends. And
Yeah.
I imagine Graves playing very similar to how Troubleshooter plays in DNF.
He doesn't have a sword.
Yeah, but he has a giant gun. He could whack people with the gun. They could do so many things to make it that way with the big shotgun blast.
I don't. I think that's all he's got. Is he's got a fucking shotgun and a cigar and
I agree
Oh,
with
he doesn't
that.
have a cigar anymore. I don't think that his fantasy of being the shotgun guy is gonna get better by being in Project L. And I just don't think he would really fit in a fighting game with the way his kit currently is. I think he stays a
agree.
lead character.
I'll concede it, but I can see Graves being really cool.
All right then. I just don't. I've never seen a character that has a gun butt type style working out really well. Gwen, That's her name, right?
Yeah, it's
This
Gwen.
one.
No, I don't
I
think she's unwelcome. I think she's unexpected.
expected.
Yeah.
I actually think that she probably has the DNA for it.
I'm inclined to agree with Kennedy. She has giant scissors.
You're the league experts. I'll defer to
She
you
has a
on this
really
one.
flashy design. Her abilities could be very interesting. I think I think her fantasy is enhanced by it
Cool.
in a big way. I could see Gwen making it. Hecarim, I'm gonna go. I think he's background character.
Really?
Because think about playing Hecarim. The whole point of playing Hecarim is I go fast.
Yeah.
And I'm going fast.
Mm-hmm.
And that does not matter so much in a fighting game.
Yeah.
I just don't. Plus, think about how enormous his model would have to be.
Yeah, he'd be a big boy. He would be a big boy.
And not like tall, like wide.
Yeah, he'd probably. It's more. Yeah, he would take up a lot of space. But they also put a tank into Blaze Blue cross tag battle. So do with that what you will. Yeah, I don't know. His fantasy doesn't get super enhanced by the game. Yeah, I'll concede with that. He would be cool in a super.
He would be.
He'd be cool to see in a super.
Great in a background stage, like a Shadow Isles background stage.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Heimerdinger.
Oh god, he has the DNA for it, but I really don't want him there.
I'd probably agree with that. Yeah, he's obviously in Arcane, so like that alone gives him a shot.
I really think this is as high as he goes. And you know what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put this down here.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I probably agree with that. He's probably gonna be a background character.
Also
I don't
change
think
the
so.
color
I
of this
think
one.
they're gonna add him. I think he's gonna be in the game, and I think he's gonna be so annoying to play against.
Yeah, we're gonna do that now. Okay. Tiers have changed. Get over it, viewer. I don't know.
I just don't think. Like, there are so many characters like Heimerdinger where they set up a thing. Like Jacko is kind of like Heimerdinger in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, Jacko's so limited now, though. It's like they had to completely I mean, they reworked a lot of characters in Guilty Gear Strive. They reworked the game entirely, but yeah, I don't know. I just can't see Heimerdinger's fantasy being better by being in Project L. If Project L is directly related to Arcane, I see him being a background character at most.
I'd agree with background character. I can get down with that.
Bonk.
Yes, she absolutely has the DNA for it.
Yeah, she'd be a really cool.
I kind of
Ionia
want to put her in launch, but I think there's an Ionia rep that is absolutely going to be launch, and I don't think.
Yeah.
It's a Collie. Collie's.
Collie is Ionia. There's going to be another Ionia rep then that's going to be in there at launch.
I think that's as far as Groot goes.
Yeah.
I think he's no shot.
That's my other prediction. Is just no shot.
I could see.
He's too peace loving.
He is, and nobody likes him.
Janna, no shot.
Janna's a background character, I think.
At most, yeah. She's a babe, so.
But she just I just don't think her skill set is built for a fighting game. Jarvan has the DNA.
Yeah.
Get my boy Jarvan in there.
Let's get him in there. We'll order this at the end.
Yeah, Jarvan absolutely has the DNA. There's nothing that can convince me otherwise.
Yep.
This is gonna get massive.
Yep, it's gonna get big. There's a lot of characters,
Yeah.
so yeah, we'll zoom out when we need to. Jax.
I really want him to be a launch character,
Same.
Yeah, me too.
but I don't think he will be.
Yeah, I might make a separate tier for dealer's choice. Let me do that.
What's that mean? Define that for me.
Dealer's choice. It's essentially our preference. What we actually want to see in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I see him as unexpected but welcome. I don't expect him because he hasn't really like been a part of a lot of the League of Legends culture.
Okay.
But his kit obviously really fits it. I do think he's lovable. He goes back way far. I don't expect him, but I'd love to see Jackson there.
Yeah.
I don't
Jace is in.
You think he's a launch?
Yeah,
I think he's in,
Arcane,
yeah.
man. I don't think there's two ways about it. He's in there. He's so tied with Vi and Jinx and Echo. Basically, it's all connected. So
how big is our launch roster right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't really argue with it.
Jin.
Unexpected but welcome. I
Yeah.
don't see how you can make his kit work in a fighting game, but I love Jin.
He's a
and I love
4-shot
his kit.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could do a mechanic
That'd be cool.
similar to Happy Chaos, but
Eh,
oh,
yeah, I don't know either.
I really don't
He's just
know.
got like a specific rhythm to playing him that doesn't feel in line with the fast-paced, assist-based thing of like a 2v2 fighting game. So
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Kaisa,
I think she has the DNA for it.
I agree.
I do too, and I think she'll fill the like void rep pretty well.
Yeah. She zips around super fast, lots of bullets everywhere, lots of stuff to dodge. She's a shooty character, but she's markedly different from, say, Jinx.
Yeah.
So I think it's very likely she's in the game. Also, she's extremely popular.
She is very popular. I think
Callista's a background
character at most. Yep.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement there. Okay, Karma. No shot.
I think.
Yeah.
No shot.
I can get down with that.
No shot.
Yep. Karthus is no shot. Cassidon has the DNA.
Cassidon, yeah,
I do
probably.
think Cassidon has the DNA. He'd be
Fucking
really cool.
father-daughter right here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that'd be fun to watch. Is
Well,
father
while we're on
beat
the
up their own
subject-
daughter.
While we're on the subject, let's talk about Malzahar, because Malzahar is also the one that sent Cassidon to the Void, and Malzahar is a giant bastard. I don't know how well he'd do in a fighting game as far as his kit goes. He's right next to Malphite, second row.
This one. That's what he looks like.
I don't know how well
he's
he'd do in a fighting game because his kit is so wonky. I don't think it's well lended for a fighting game, but I think like he'll be around in some way, especially if those other two are.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think he'd be a background character for sure. Is this Kale?
Yeah, that's Kale.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Kale. I think she has the potential to be in the game for sure.
I do too.
Yeah.
But okay, while we're on the subject, let's talk about Morgana. Their sister.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Morgana? Because I don't think Morgana is second row underneath Cogma. I don't think Morgana has the DNA for it.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see background.
Yeah.
I would kind of be okay with Kale not being in the game. I think there's a real argument either way. I think she has the DNA for it, but also like.
Oh, the invincibility sounds annoying.
It
Never
does.
mind.
Unexpected and unwelcome.
Never mind. Don't want to deal with that.
Kane has the DNA for it,
Yeah,
dude.
for sure.
Please put Kane in the game.
Yeah,
Ryan.
I think Kane will
Please.
probably be in eventually.
Mhm.
Please let me choose my form and
That
give
would
me
be
the
cool,
different
yeah.
move sets based on what form I pick.
It'd be kind of cool if like if we're doing best of threes, you always play your first round as normal Kane, and then second round you can do something to change your form.
Mhm.
Care how they do it, man. Just put my boy in the game, please.
Yeah.
Please, please, please.
So I'm gonna put Ken in here because
I'd agree with
small
that.
characters are really annoying to bounce around in fighting games, and Kennen would have to be quite small, and meaning he could just like naturally dodge projectiles, which is really annoying. So,
Yeah.
or just certain pokes. So he'd be unexpected if they find a way to do it where playing him is not ass or like annoying.
It's not
as
the
hell to
odd
deal
job
with.
syndrome.
Yeah, pretty much. Or like, gosh, this is a throwback. Naruto Clash of Ninja 2 for the GameCube. You could play as Akamaru, the little dog, and you like can't hit that character like for 90% of the cast with your basic combo because he's too short. And so in casual games, he becomes a top tier, and he's so annoying to fight against. So I'd love to see Kennen, but he'd be very difficult to do. I think his fantasy could be expanded upon, but yeah, I don't know. Too small.
Yeah.
I don't.
We're going to have to think about that one more, though, because there's a lot of Yordles, and that applies to all of them.
I think he's the best Yordle. Like,
I do, too.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
I think he's like the best Yordle for the job.
Kha'Zix has the DNA.
Yeah.
And I would be shocked if this game runs its lifespan and Kha'Zix isn't.
I totally agree. I think Kha'Zix will be in eventually.
Yep. Kindred
has the DNA. The one thing I would say about Kindred, like I think the combo of Kindred and Wolf and like the options that gives you is really cool. Maybe not even a puppet character, but just like seeing Kindred in a fighting game would be awesome. However, she does have the immortality field the same way Kale does. And
Yep.
They don't necessarily need to bring in that mechanic or even
They
anything
don't.
really.
They
near
don't.
it.
Yeah.
I think she could be a cool puppet character for sure.
Gled.
uh,
I
God.
want
Cool.
him.
I want him in. Yeah, I want him in.
Yeah.
But
He's
he
so
probably won't
funny.
be.
Such a funny
he's
guy.
cool. He's cool for sure.
Yeah. This list is getting a little big. We'll zoom out in a sec.
It's just gonna keep getting bigger.
Oh yeah. Cogma, no shot.
No shot.
He's a
No
little
shot at
puppy.
all.
He's a little void puppy. At most, I'm willing to put him here.
Yeah, I think background might fit him. I don't see it.
Yeah. I'm gonna put him in no shot. I'm gonna make the hard read. LeBlanc, putting there.
Unexpected but welcome. I think she goes there. I think there's
Deception
a lot of
Mage
cool
sounds
options.
awesome.
Yeah, it does sound awesome.
Sounds
it
so
also
cool.
sounds like a bitch to make.
Yeah.
So Lee Sin has the DNA.
Yeah. I mean, look at him.
He is Lee Sin.
I think Lee Sin is going to be in the game at some
Yeah.
point. I don't know if he's going to be on launch, but
I
will
don't think
be
he's launched, but he's
Yeah.
in the game
Yeah.
for sure.
for sure.
Nico. Or that's not Nico. It
That's
looks
Lily.
Nico's right below it.
Yeah.
What is this character?
Lilia.
Lilia. Tight. Okay.
She's
Lilia.
a
No,
character.
Yeah. I lean towards no shot, but it doesn't really matter. I guess
Yeah, she's one of
she's
those.
not in the game.
Yeah, if you're down
She's-
here, it's not looking good for you in Project
She has
L.
the same problems as Hecarim, I think,
Yeah.
in terms of her kit.
Yeah, she'd be thick horse or thick deer woman. Be hard.
Yeah.
Sandra, bonk. Unexpected and welcome.
I think she's got no shot. I would like
Right.
to see her.
Yeah, I just can't imagine how you'd do her kit very
Pick
well.
like a mid-ranged ice mage that can like teleport in and lock down your opponent when you land certain hits. Sounds really fun.
It does sound cool, but you're also ignoring like her passive, or I don't know if it's her passive or all, but like making the ghouls of people that she kills.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, that sounds like a change from when I played her. So I
It
think
is.
she's very unexpected. I wouldn't expect to see her in the roster really much at all, but I think she'd be a welcome addition.
I'd agree.
We might as well, if we're talking about the Freljord, because she's like the Ice Queen or whatever. Let's talk about Tryndamere. Where the heck is that
Tryndamere, I
guy?
think, is in the game. He's next to Trundle.
Bonk.
I think Tryndamere has the DNA for it. Again, I come back to how are you going to differentiate Tryndamere from Darius?
Mhm.
But he's super popular. He's pretty iconic.
I like the idea of like his taunt or whatever, the chicken move that he has.
Oh yeah.
I like the idea of that if you're like, holding back or something like that, he could potentially call you
Break
out
your
or
guard.
something. Yeah, something like that. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
That would be cool, yeah.
Little dynamic. Now this guy,
Lucian,
In the game.
he's
probably-
he's in the files.
yeah,
in
they
some
have the
way.
dash icon. Again, it's
But is he
placeholder.
in the game at launch?
I actually think he's going to be in the game at launch.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
it. Lucian's cool.
He's
as
super
hell.
He's so
popular.
cool.
Yeah.
I love Lucian, dude.
While,
I would-
while we're at it, I'm going to make a hard read. Senna is going to be a background character as a
Senna,
result.
Senna,
Really?
Senna.
Yeah.
Where the heck is Senna?
Yeah. I think she'll just be a background.
Right.
Where,
Okay.
where's Senna?
She's next to Sejuani.
Up. Bonk.
There you
Founder. Background
Character? I'd
Yeah.
put her
with,
unexpected.
with Thrash, probably.
I'd put her unexpected but welcome. I think Senna is enormously popular. People
Yeah.
love Senna.
True.
Yeah.
She has her own
Like,
pop group that she's in. It's
Yeah.
not
The-
PDA.
Yeah, the reasons why I say this, why I lean towards more background character, you don't really see her kit fitting the fighting game fantasy very well. I also don't think a fighting game would really expand the fantasy of her kit.
Yeah.
And I think for sure that they're going to have some reference to what is it, the harrowing? Is that what it's called?
The
The
Ruination.
harrowing. Oh, the ruination. Yeah, and I think she's going to be a big part of that reference. I just don't think she's going to be a playable character.
So if there's like single player content for this game, she's definitely showing up in the story as like a background character.
If it has
So,
anything to do with the
Any
Shadow
story,
Isle or the
yeah.
Signals of Light, absolutely.
Is there?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Cool.
Lulu is a background character.
Yeah, I could see that.
No shot, personally.
I think she is too wacky to not be in the game at all.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Lux, I think, is on launch.
You think
Really?
Lux is on launch?
I
Yeah,
don't think Lux is gonna be in the
Lux
game.
is your
You're
mage, dude. Lux is so popular.
You
She's
already have
so
Ari.
She's
You
popular,
already
but
have
I
Ari.
just don't really see her as a fighting game
You
character.
have Ari as
I
mage.
Yeah.
guarantee you they find a way to get her in. I guarantee you.
Yeah, as a background character.
No. They find a way to make her
Garen's
play.
story is a background character.
I would bet money.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Malphite.
Malphite has the DNA, but he does the same things that, in a lot of ways, he does the same stuff that
Too
Alex.
big.
Yeah.
He's too big. He's a mountain
I
man.
think it's too big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I
shot.
probably agree with that. Yeah,
He's way
probably
too
agree with
big. You know what he could be? A stage.
that. Yo, that'd be sick.
I would be down for Malphite as a
Playing
stage.
on Malphite's
Yeah,
back.
that'd be sick.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So get him in there, Riot. Make him a stage. Now Maokai. I want Maokai. I love Maokai. I like the idea of like this tree golem dude. That sounds really fun to play, and I think it could have unique animations and stuff like that. But I don't expect him to be in the game.
Yeah, probably agree with that.
Yeah. Master Yi. Are we here?
I want to
I
put
don't-
him in on Welcome, but he has the DNA for it. It's undeniable.
Yeah, he has the
Does
DNA
he?
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he totally does.
Does
He's
he?
popular
He
too.
has
Absolutely.
teleport sword move, which is like kind of whatever. I don't
But
know.
he's like,
I feel like
the
Yone
closest-
or Yasuo would fit that fantasy way more than Master Yi would.
Yeah,
I'd agree, but I mean,
I think it's
I'm fine
most
with you putting
easier.
him in Unwelcome because I hate his guts.
Okay.
But that's a personal grudge.
Sure.
So
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think he's at most here. I don't think he would make it into the game when characters like Yone or Yasuo exist. Especially in like a 2v2 game. I don't know.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
I just think he's more of a league character than a Product L character.
So Misfortune, once again, ADCs.
Bonk.
Yeah. See, again though, she's so popular.
But if Alawi has a stage, she can just be in the background
yeah.
and she can look pretty.
Yeah,
actually-
but then every league player in the world is going to be like, "Why is Alawi in the game and Misfortune isn't? How do you even?"
Okay.
She's
do
just
think
so
it's-
popular.
It's not impossible that she's in the game, mostly because she's in the RPG, which I think is
Yeah.
the inspiration for bringing Alawi in.
Uh-huh.
But I also think that because they brought Alawi in as like that RPG rep, that she's probably not going to be in the game.
Yeah.
I hope she's not.
I don't think she's playable. I just
think
don't
she
see
is.
the ranged pirate girl to be more fun in a fighting game than she currently is in League.
That's fair.
Yeah. This is
Mordekaiser has the
Mordekaiser? Yeah.
He's got the DNA.
His
Yeah.
animations for stuff like that, and the fact that he can bring you into the Shadow Realm, like, in my eyes, that could be totally a 2v2 thing, because then you lock out the assist when you, like, dump your meter or something like that. So-
Sure.
So that way you have to spend your resources, but then they can't call their assist, it's just them, which I think would be really fun. Dynamic to play around, for sure.
I'd agree.
Nami.
No shot.
No shot.
No shot. Nasus?
I think he's
Eh,
unexpected but welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree
Yeah.
with that. I'd agree with that.
Nasus would be cool.
Nautilus, I feel like, is
I
probably
feel like he's-
here.
I think he might have the DNA.
Really?
You're a May player.
Really?
You're a May player.
I am
Can
a
you not
May player.
feel of just conking people with a giant anchor as Nautilus.
Nautilus is a big body, and I guess there's already like so many big bodies that I'm looking at right now, and just like these top upper tiers, that he would definitely stand out. And I love hitting things with an anchor. That is one of my favorite things ever. But I don't expect him to be in, just because
don't
his
expect
kid
him
is
to
so
be in either.
slow.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't expect him to be in personally.
I think
Fun
I
character,
expect him is fine.
though. Nico.
Nico, so her big thing that she does is she can look like other characters, which is really helpful in a game like League of Legends, but is not helpful in a fighting game.
Yeah.
And I don't think she brings anything really unique outside of that.
She's just a little lizard girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, little
Bless.
lizard teenager. Nidalee has the DNA for it for sure.
Yeah.
become a cat.
Can you imagine, like, chucking spears, becoming a cat?
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. Nocturne.
Nocturne, I would say, has the DNA for it.
Yeah, he's cool.
I would kind of be surprised if he's not there at launch or really close to launch, actually, because who doesn't want to play the Ghost Man?
So
I actually
the
think
darkness thing sounds really hard to deal with. I like the idea that he would be like some kind of counter character, but again, I feel like Fiora has that, so I want to put it here.
I'd agree with that. I don't think Nocturne is going to be in the game. I just don't really think that we're getting to a point where there's like so many champions, and I understand that the fighting game is going to have a really long life cycle, but it's going to be really hard to fit in even half of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Nocturne's going to be
Impossible, even.
Yeah, impossible even.
Yeah. Nocturne, not expected. I think, honestly, and now that I'm thinking about it, at most, he's like here.
Probably, yeah.
I'd like
It'd be
to
cool
see him, though.
It'd be cool to see him for sure. I just
Now,
don't
Nunu?
expect him.
Nunu and Willump has the DNA, dude.
Yeah.
Nunu and Willump would be so fun.
They would be very fun. They would have. I would probably play. They would probably be my main if
Really?
if they were in the game. Yeah, because they seem like they would just be having so much fun, which is why I like playing May, is because May is always having fun, and Nunu and Willump are always having fun. So it's very hard for me not to have fun when I'm playing characters like that. So
Yeah, I think they'd be a good fit. I think their kit goes really well into a fighting game.
they don't have to
And-
be a puppet character either. They can just be like
No.
a cool tag team duo, essentially.
Or yeah, I mean, Nunu is always on the back of Willump,
Mhm.
so that's just how they'd be. You would be picking Nunu and Willump. They'd be,
Yeah.
yeah,
It'd be like the Ice Climbers, essentially, but not
But a little
so
less
separate. Yeah.
yeah.
More connected even. They'd be fused
Yeah,
together.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Okay. Olaf.
he has the DNA for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He'd be a good Targon pick too, or Freljord actually. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
he runs people down really well, and that is definitely a very good quality to have in a fighting game, is being able to run people down. So
Also, he's a Viking. He'll
he
be
is a
popular.
Viking. That's tight as hell. Yeah. And he's a berserker too. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All good things. And he could turn on his rage and like power through hits and stuff like that. Yeah, he's got the DNA for sure. All right, who's next? Oriana.
Oriana.
Mm,
Unexpected welcome.
really? I guess like she'd be a pretty cool puppet character, or even Bridget adjacent.
Yeah, just like some kind of they set up like a Okazeme situation where they like knock you down and then they put out the ball and then they call an assist, and you have to figure out which one is gonna, which one do I have to worry about while Oriana is also doing something while commanding the ball. So I don't expect them, but yeah, I think they could be really fun in the game. I think their kit is just really cool. So I love Ornn. I'm gonna say no shot.
I think
Maybe at most like here.
I think he's a background character.
Yeah,
I think
Targon
between
stage.
Ornn and Volibear, if one of them's got the DNA for it, it's Volibear.
Yeah, where's
Yeah.
Volibear? There he is. I found
I
him.
think he's
Volibear suffers from the same problem as like Malphite. Volibear is canonically really big. I guess Galio is canonically really big
Galio
too,
is also Galio is like
or whatever that's
the
worth.
same size as Volibear.
Well, now he's going here and he's going here. Is anyone else huge that we should know about?
Let's get to them.
Is anyone else absolutely massive
I
that we
think,
should know about?
Rek'Sai might be kind of big. I guess there was that one trailer where she fights Kaisa and she's not like super big.
Is Skarner big?
I kind of remember
No.
Skarner being relatively big. I don't think there's anyone else that's like
Big, but
super
he's not
massive.
super
Okay.
massive.
While
While we're on the subject of
whatever.
Skarner, let's just put him in no shot because no one cares about Skarner.
I care about
I know you
Skarner.
care
I
about
like
Skarner.
Skarner, but he's a forgotten boy.
I think no
I forgot.
shot. I just don't see. Well, I don't know. Playing as a Scorpion does sound pretty fucking cool, so I'm gonna put him here. Like just being a Scorpion in a fighting game of these characters, if he's normal size, that might be kind of hype. But he's also probably kind of low to the ground, so maybe it's kind of no shot.
He's no shot. They
Yeah.
don't. Riot hates him.
Let's do Rek'Sai because I put them out of order, and
Yeah.
I think Rek'Sai has the DNA for it, but they're so big, so I'm gonna just put them unexpected.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, because I feel like the tunnels would be cool. I don't know. Multiverses introduced me to Bugs Bunny tunnels, and that was a thing that I did not know I needed in my life. So Rek'Sai tunnels sound like kind of fun.
They do.
Especially if you like leave them out for your teammate when you swap, and then your teammate can use them too. So there's ideas, but again, it's unexpected. Pantheon.
He's in the game. He's the Targon pick for sure.
Bonk.
I don't know if he's going to be on launch. I think there's a decent chance he's on launch, but he's absolutely going to be in the game eventually.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah. Poppy has
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. She's cool.
Giant Hammer. Yeah.
Giant
Poppy's
Hammer
gotta be-
throws the shield. You know,
I think Pike
unexpected
has the
hero.
DNA too.
I think Pike will probably be in the game. It'll probably be a while before it gets there, but I
Yeah.
think we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I think we'll order this tier by how long it will take them to get into the game.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I think
with
we'll
that
order
in
most
mind,
of the tiers like that, probably.
if we're gonna do that, then we need to do a little bit of shuffling around. Cause
We
like,
will.
Azir, probably
we
not
will.
gonna be in. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We'll do it at the end. Let's get the tiers.
I think Kiana has
sorted.
the DNA for it too.
I think Kiana's unexpected but welcome. I'd love to see
I
her.
agree.
Yeah.
I think she'd be really cool in the game, but I think it's unlikely.
Yeah, I don't know how her like passive would really translate to Project L, but she has a unique weapon and a unique character design that I'd like to see. Just like Quinn, don't expect her to be in there because nobody really likes Quinn, but she's a cool bird girl and she has cool moves that I think would be fun in Project L. So
Yeah,
she's like this nimble crossbowman. I think that's neat.
It is.
It's not just an archer. So
Rakan is a background character.
Yeah. Where's Zaya? That's her.
I think
right?
Zaya. I think she has a shot to be in.
This one.
I don't think she'll be in the game.
She's just ADC, but she's not just straight up shooty girl. Like
she's not, but she's just not like significant.
Yeah.
In the world.
Wherever
currently.
Rakan is, Zaya is also.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see them both being background characters for sure.
Yeah, especially because there's like the beast people. Ramus, I want him, but I don't expect him.
Yeah,
that's fair.
He's a good boy, but
he is a good boy.
Rel has no shot.
No shot on Rel.
Yeah, no shot.
Riding a horse. No shot on Poison Lady.
No. So Renata was basically created. I feel strongly that she was created because she's going to be an Arcane. She's like a Chemtech Baron. Like, I don't think she has the DNA for it, but I will be shocked if she's not in Arcane Season 2. She will be in the game in some capacity. I think
she'll be a background character.
Background character.
Yeah.
That's as high as I'm willing to go with Poison Drone Lady.
Now we got 3 guys in a row that have the DNA for it.
Yeah.
Yo. Man, I want Renekton so bad, but I don't think it's going to be in the game. Rengar is going to be in the game eventually. And can I go on my Riven spiel?
You can go on your Riven spiel.
Go on your Riven spiel.
Okay, so Riven, and I gotta pull up this thing that I was referencing earlier. Riven is my favorite character. I play her all the time. I love playing her. I think she's super fun. I have many arguments as to why she is going to be in the game eventually. My very first argument is when they originally showed the mechanics preview for Riven in 2011. It was Morello, the lead champion designer at the time, who wrote this post going over her mechanics, and he says, and I quote, "We're excited about Riven because she draws some heavy inspiration from fighting games, utilizing combos that can be interspersed with other abilities to change timing and effect as needed." So that's reason number one. She was originally designed to be the fighting game character in League of Legends. Reason number two is that there's a lot of heavy implication in Arcane that they're going to start exploring Noxus, either in Season 2 and Season 3. And Riven is one of the most iconic Noxus characters, as well as one of the characters that can easily segue from Noxus into Ionia. which they're gonna want to do eventually, right? And in addition to all of that, we don't have a whole lot of big sword characters quite yet. It really, like, big weapon characters in general come down to Darius and Garen so far for what we have on launch. I think she fits the big sword archetype perfectly. She fits the install archetype perfectly. I think she's going to be in the game. If not on launch, then very soon after launch.
Having it install.
I think she's
that'd be
launch,
fun.
but I think she is definitely going to be in the game. Yeah, I'd agree.
Bonk.
I don't think she's on launch.
I thought okay.
Also,
Not
if we could get that Star Guardian ribbon skin, please, I'd really appreciate that. I've been waiting for that for a while, and I need it in my life.
He'll spend the money on it.
I'll spend the money on it.
Rumble's a background character.
I want Rumble.
I want Rumble too. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, let's put him in there. He'd be hilarious.
I just want him. Yeah, he's so fun.
Yeah.
Give him the Galaxy Rumble skin or whatever.
Rise is no, don't do that to my boy. Rise is iconic. Faker made Rise iconic. If they're gonna have this game catch on in Korea at all, Rise is gonna be in it. He's a really cool character. He means a shitload to League of Legends lore.
Yeah, sure
he
does.
is super important.
Yeah.
He's the guy who showed Jace magic in the first thing of Arcane, the first season.
Yeah. Well, and he's the only true practitioner of magic, to my knowledge. The other thing with Rise is I think he could have a lot of cool mechanics with his ability to mark people and then change the effects of his spells based on those markings. I think he's got the DNA for it for sure.
Yep.
And he's iconic.
Yeah. She's got the DNA. Samira, right?
Oh, dude, I would love to see Samira in the game, actually. If only for, like, the stylish combos and, like, the combo meter and everything. That'd be really fun.
That'd be fun.
She's Hitman from the NF Duel.
Sounds fun.
I'd like to quickly point out that we didn't really touch on Renekton and Rengar too much.
No.
I actually don't think... I think Renekton totally has the DNA for it. I'm not convinced that he will be in the game. If he will be wherever Nasus is. If he's in the game, then Nasus is in the game. If neither of them are in the game, then neither of them are in the game.
I'm down for that. Pairing those two together.
Rengar, I think, will be in the game eventually. It may be like, I don't know, second
man guy.
Yeah, like second wave or third wave, especially because like I think we can all agree that Kha'Zix is probably going to be in the game eventually, and that just needs to happen, right? I think putting them right next to each other is perfect because they could really do a fun event where they release both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
And do some callbacks to like their original hunt mechanics that they have with each other.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I think Rengar is going to be in the game for sure.
Sejuani.
Dude, she has the DNA for it, but she's big.
Yeah, she's like here at most, but I honestly think we're like here.
No, don't do that.
I think she'll be a background character. I think she's got the Freljord story piece.
Well, if we're talking about background characters, that's going to be there.
Yeah.
And unwelcome.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't want Seraphine in the game.
Yeah,
get that
shit out.
All right, no more Seraphine talk. My boy Set. Actually, I'm putting him here.
Yeah. Oh, launch prediction.
So
really,
there is so much like outcry for wanting Set in the game.
He's
everywhere
the punch
I go,
boy.
everywhere I go, everyone's like, Set needs to be in this fucking game, or I'm not going to play it. And I'm just like,
he does need to be in the game.
He does need to be in the game.
He's the punch boy.
He's punch and he's beast guy and he's hot, so he's going to be in the game. I'm pretty sure.
He is hot. He's hot as fuck.
Does he have any relation to Ari?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Or any character, I mean, really? I don't think he might have some relations to Zaya and Rakan. But I think
he has relations to his mom. He loves his mom.
That's true. If he doesn't have relations to any character, which I'm pretty sure he doesn't, this would be a great chance for him to like expand that lore.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he fits the fantasy really well. I think he's going to be in the game. I don't think he's going to be in the game at launch. But
I wanted to be on the game at launch, so I'm down for that.
Yeah, same.
I can see that to you.
Shaco.
God damn.
Unexpected and unwelcome.
I actually think I think there's a decent chance they put him in the game.
No.
I put this as unexpected but welcome. I would like to see Shaco. I think what Shaco does is something that no other champion has been able to do for the entirety of League of Legends history. he is objectively a piece of shit. He is the most annoying champion in the game. He's always been the most annoying champion in the game. That in itself is iconic enough that he has a chance of getting in.
No.
I hate it.
I can't see
I
his,
think
his
he's
fantasy
right,
of being like
I
this evil torturer, like working out or panning out in like a fighting game very well. It could. Like there are slower characters in fighting games like Zoners or even like Fang, who's like a poison character in Street Fighter. So it's definitely possible, but I don't want to see him.
I hate his guts.
Shen.
Shen has the DNA.
Yeah, Shen has the DNA.
He's a ninja.
Yeah.
He is a ninja.
Look
But
at
he's a
him.
very different kind of ninja than Akali.
Yeah.
He's kind of a tankier ninja. He can throw out his sword hologram and call it back for damage.
Yeah.
He has shield. He can give you shields on assists and stuff. Yeah, he's got the DNA.
Yeah. He could have a cool sword projectile that he could like call back. It'd be fun. Shyvana.
So I'd say Shyvana has the DNA, but I don't know how they're gonna do the dragon transformation.
Yeah.
It's an unexpected welcome. Her dragon transformation would probably just be a super.
Yeah, fair.
I don't know why this guy's here. Is he in League?
He's an arcane. He's in TFT. I could totally
Lloyd.
see him being a background character.
Yep.
To my knowledge, he doesn't fight.
So I'm gonna make a read on Singed.
Okay.
I do think he has the DNA for it.
I agree.
He's got the arcane rep, obviously. I think he's got. I think they could really expand on who Singed is as a character with like projectiles and buffs to yourself. You could even do some like wacky Faust shenanigans where he's got like randomized buffs. I think they might be pretty fun. I also think he introduces a unique fighting game mechanic of like baiting someone into getting you into the corner just so you can reverse with a flip. I think that would be a really cool mechanic.
A really
I think
easy
Singed
side switch.
Yeah. Well,
He's
like
got a DNA.
his whole shtick as a League of Legends character is like baiting people, right? He wants people to chase them. I haven't seen any other fighting game character out of all the fighting games I've played that like accomplishes that same sort of concept of trying to bait someone into like getting you into a disadvantaged situation and then reversing it. I think that could be interesting.
That's just
I
like
agree.
That's probably like conceptually a pretty basic
yeah.
concept across like any fighting game, right?
I mean, there's some characters will just have combos that switch sides. Like my bread and butter May combo can switch sides depending on how I use my dolphin or whatever. So, yeah, there's definitely like it's pretty common to just see that sort of thing in fighting games in general.
Right.
So I just can't see Singed's fantasy being better of like running away into poison gas. I just can't see that being.
I don't think he'll do like the runaway thing, but I think there's
That's his fantasy.
Well, yeah, but there's plenty of other ways that you can expand upon the fantasy of being this praised alchemist, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think that's the fantasy. I don't think the fantasy is running away. I think the fantasy is being a psychotic alchemist. And I think they've set that up really well in Arcane. I think he's got a DNA for it.
This is as far as I'm going. Willing to push it as
right.
unexpected but
Yeah.
welcome. Because I want to see him.
Right.
I think he's a cool character. But yeah, I don't see that working out.
Zion has a DNA.
Yeah. Yeah, most top laners do.
Did you know that his
really.
jaw is the crown of King Jarvan the
Actually,
First?
Yep.
He's too big.
Is he? He's pretty big.
He's fucking big. He's got an oven in his tummy.
He's
He does
big,
have
but I
that.
think he's like Potemkin big. I think that's.
I
still
would agree.
doable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm worried about
He's
his
not
size.
a literal mountain.
Okay, yeah. I'm worried about his size because he seems quite large.
He is quite
Sivir,
large.
no shot.
Uh,
Maybe
A
here.
background character on Shurima.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sona, no shot.
No shot.
Background, maybe, probably not.
don't even think background character.
Soraka's a background character.
Really? I think no shot.
Probably, yeah. Swain, I think Swain has the DNA, dude.
Yeah, I think Swain will probably be in the game eventually. Truthfully.
I'm here with him. Unexpected but welcome. Because he's like this space controlling mage,
Yeah.
which is totally
But-
fair, and he can change
but-
into, well, he can't change into Raven mode. He doesn't have that.
But he's also got, like, I think his ult works really well, where you just don't want to get next to him, and he just ominously walks closer to you. I feel like a fighting game enhances Swain's fantasy a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I'll concede this one. Swain will go there. He has the DNA. I don't expect to see him, but it would be cool to see him.
Silas has
Silas.
also, and is also a huge part of Garen's story.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Syndra.
No shot.
No shot. Yeah. I agree.
No shot, really?
Yeah.
No shot. Yeah, but
Ball.
She's at least
ball
a
lady.
background.
No.
I don't know. Okay.
she has like no relevance to really like the overall story. I couldn't even see
True.
it. her as
I
a
also
background
just
character.
don't see her paired with other characters,
Yeah, that's fair.
which is like
Now,
the whole point of the game.
my boy Tommy Kench.
Unexpected but welcome for me.
Yeah.
I think he's got the potential. I don't know if he has the DNA.
Yeah,
Kind of
I
licks
think
you,
that's
and that's kind of it.
it's hot.
Talia, DNA.
Yeah?
Really?
Mid
Wow.
mid or long range Earth Mage sounds really.
I think it's a cool idea. I think Talia is also one of those characters that people just kind of don't care about.
Yeah.
I don't see how you incorporate her ult in any meaningful way, but the rest of her kit I think would be really good.
I don't remember what her ult does.
She like summons this giant wall that bisects the map almost, and she like runs super fast.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
Personally, I don't see it. But you know,
I don't see it, but I think it's really unlikely. But
We'll
I
do
think if
this.
they did, it'd be awesome.
yeah.
We'll split the difference.
Might need to do like a voting system where if two people vote over the other, then it's unexpected but welcome.
Yeah, I'm just gonna split the difference on that one. Some of these I might draw a line in the sand, but
Yeah, not a hill you'll die on.
not for
Alan.
Talia. No, he's probably there, right?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Alan?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jumps over
Yeah.
walls, very agile. He's a ninja.
He
Yeah.
throws his ninja stars out.
Yep.
He's
yeah.
got
He's got the DNA. Now Tarek, he's got the DNA.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
man.
He's a support character, so he pairs well with others. He has
And he's
a magnificent chin. He
and he has
has
a hammer.
unique weaponry, which I really like, and his abilities are based off of the positioning of his allies. So there's like a possibility for his assists to be really cool. So I think he's got the DNA for being in the game.
I would agree.
Let's see, Timo.
Yeah.
Unexpected. No, he's expected, but unwelcome.
Dude,
Does he get his own
I think,
tier?
I think Timo will be in the game.
I think he will be in the game, but I don't want him to be in the game.
I want him in the game, dude. Timo's sick.
I think he's
Oh,
great.
God.
Yeah.
I-
Captain
Timo's-
Timo is on duty.
Timo's
I hate this guy.
iconic.
Yes.
He is iconic.
Yeah.
So you're probably right that he's going to be in the
They
game.
have
but
they sell hats
They
of
do
him,
sell
man.
Timo hats.
I hate his guts.
Yeah.
Tristana could actually have the DNA for it.
I think you're crazy.
Tristana,
I think at most
she has like the time bomb thing that she puts over you. She has the leap. She's more
Oh.
than just shooty girl.
I'd probably agree because if you scroll up, we're at a point where we've gone through so many characters that we've kind of like filtered out a lot of the gun characters,
Yeah.
and we could afford to throw in another one. And if there was another one I would throw in, it'd be Tristana.
Yeah, this makes sense.
But Unexpected but Welcome feels appropriate.
I just do not expect little tiny shooty girl to be a fun character to play against. Yours
Agreed.
is just kind of hard to bounce around because you're so small.
But okay, so how does Timo have the DNA for him more than Tristana does?
Because Timo.
Because he's Timo.
Yeah, but if
Got
we're talking
mushroom
about
traps.
gameplay, Tristana has every right to be there just as much as Timo does.
No.
I don't know about every right, but I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you that she has a good chance of being in the game. I do think Timo is way more likely than Tristana.
Timo is definitely more likely than Tristana, but if we're saying, oh well, she would be annoying to play against because she's short, like Timo.
Oh
He's
yeah, I
also-
don't care about that. Yeah, I don't care about how short she is.
So
I don't know. I just short gunner is I guess a little bit different than like short trap blowpipe survivalist man to me.
she's odd job.
Yeah, I mean Poppy's also already here, and she's
Yeah.
small. but she's much more of a bruiser, and therefore she automatically is just kind of in here. So maybe I put Poppy down here actually, because she's so small and she's bruiser.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually gonna probably keep her where she was.
I think she stays there, but
Yeah.
I think Tristana should
She's
go there,
related to Demacia in some way, which is important.
Yeah. Trundle has the DNA. Totally.
I'd love to see Trundle in. I don't.
I think he's
know if
unexpected
he'd
but
be-
welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
I don't
absolutely
think-
love to
He's
see
just
him
kind
in
of
there.
like a troll with a club.
I don't think there's a lot of people that are going to be like, oh my god, Trundle, fantasy of Trundle is so cool. Like,
Yeah, the pillar thing
very
just doesn't really jive compared to like, I don't know, a Zir wall would be way cooler.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, like a Nivea wall is down here for a reason. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him,
Yeah,
but I don't
I'd
expect
love
it.
to see him. I agree.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I agree.
Twisted Fate.
TF.
Bonk, bonk,
Damn.
bonk.
Background character. Yeah. Get
But
him
his
in
fantasy could be enhanced so much.
Throws
Eh.
cards at you.
there.
Yeah, but the cards are magic.
That's just throw
Yeah.
cards.
But they're just
That's all he does. He just throws
It just
cards.
kind of throws cards at you. I don't know. Again, I'm thinking of like wherever Graves goes, he goes. You know?
Yeah. Down for that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I could see Twisted Fate in the game. Honestly, he is
He's very
kind of
popular,
iconic.
very
Yeah. And you could do a lot with him, because you don't even necessarily need to do throwing cards. You can do
No.
like slashing cards, melee cards, all that jazz.
He's quite a nimble guy.
Yeah. I don't see him in the game, but I don't think it's a complete write-off.
I think
He's got a great
Yeah, I'm gonna
body
keep him
for
here. We're gonna put Graves right below him just so they have each other.
Aww.
Yeah,
That's
they need
adorable.
that. They need that.
Twitch is unexpected and unwelcome.
I love him, so I'm putting him here.
I don't think Twitch is gonna be in the game.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm gonna put no shot actually.
I think Udyr is...
Okay. This is the stance character. I think Udyr will absolutely be in the game. I might even argue that Udyr will be in the game at launch because they are reworking him. He absolutely fits everything that you'd want from a fighting game. He accomplishes the stance mechanic if they wanted to play around with that.
We also have no Freljord rep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Udyr's absolutely going to be in the game.
I think that's really good justification. I could be down with Udyr at launch.
Yeah.
I don't know how likely it is. Scroll back down. Let me see the rest of the list before we call him a launch character. So he's the last Freljord character that we have. I think he's probably launch. Like
Who does
who
Udyr
is
know?
Freljord?
What characters does Udyr know?
Ash and Tryndamere
Ash,
Ash and
Tryndamere, yeah.
Tryndamere. Okay.
and Braum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be a really hard read, but I think it's a read. If only because they just barely announced his like rework. They're showing off the gameplay.
Yeah.
And he really fits this game. Like he is the punch boy.
The thing of it, I can't think of a Freljord character that is more likely to be in at launch than him, and I don't think they're going to launch without any Freljord characters. So I think that makes the most sense.
I would hope they don't. Riot.
Yeah.
I hope you don't.
Urgot, I
no
think.
shot.
has the
Too
DNA.
big.
Really?
Too big. And also, I'm gonna put him here. Other than no shot. That's
I
as
think
far as I'm
he-
willing to go. I hate.
I
that
think he's
guy.
going to be a background character. Vi and Caitlyn have a lot of interaction with Urgot. There's a particular fighting scene in one of their trailers where they show them fighting him. I agree that he's not going to be a playable character. Though.
I hope he's not. I think he could be. I think he has potential. But
No.
Okay,
I hate
okay.
his Simon Says bullshit.
Varus.
Varys.
So I feel very similarly about him that I do to Ash, but also he looks like a fighting game character.
Really? You think so?
I think so. Yeah, Varus.
I
He's a
think so.
demonic intertwined possession of two gay lovers. Yeah, Varus. He's got a lot going on. I think.
He has two gay dudes inside him.
Yeah, Varus
yeah,
is the
So he's
amalgamation of.
3 people.
No, he's two people
Okay.
to make Varus, but he's
Okay.
also Darkin, isn't he? He's a Darkin, right?
Yeah, he's a Darkin.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, man. I think you could do a lot with Varus. And I think Varus is a really cool character. he has a lot more unique attack patterns, I think, than Ash does. And we don't have a bow character at all, and I think that's really unlikely. I think Unexpected But Welcome is fine, but I would love to see Varys in the game.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be in, but I can get down with Unexpected But Welcome.
I'm putting him there. Vayne.
He's a background character in Demacia.
No shot for me.
Yeah, fair. I like Vayne a lot. I actually would be down to see her in the game, but I don't think she will.
I just don't think anything that she does would be
Super unique.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'd rather have Quinn. If we're talking about like a crossbow duelist girl, I would rather just have Quinn. Yeah, because
Quinn has more options.
Quinn
more
has Bird.
options.
Quinn has Valor, and I think that's
For a fighting game.
Yeah,
I
for a
understand
fighting game.
I understand why you like Vayne in the context of League more, but I think for a fighting game, Quinn makes a lot more sense, and they essentially do the same thing, but Quinn probably does it in a more unique way.
Yeah, I like Quinn's ability to like get in your face, and Vayne is more about like out positioning, which is definitely a thing in fighting games. But I think her fantasy is best in League of Legends, and I don't think it gets better by being in a 2v2 fighting game.
I'm really torn on Vigar.
Vigar, however you say it.
I think no shot.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't think he's gonna be in. Yeah, I don't even want to see him in. I just don't think he fits.
I think this is as far as he gets.
We have so few zoners. Go up.
I don't know. A lot of these could be
like who are
Ari,
Jinx,
Ezreal,
Annie, Draven.
I would say I don't think
Draven's probably
Draven would probably be more mid range, but he would have longer range tools.
Kindred. Yeah,
Ezreal,
okay.
Yeah, we got plenty of zoners.
I can get down with it.
Yeah, it's fine. Vagar can stay there. Vel'Koz, no shot.
No shot.
Yeah.
Vex, I think, will be a background character somewhere. I don't know where though, because I have no idea. What's her?
Vex was the other potential puppet character that I was thinking of.
Okay.
With her little demon.
But Unexpected But Welcome could be really fun. I think like she could have a really interesting like fear mechanic. Griffin, you're probably not super familiar with her, but in League of Legends, she like builds up this bar underneath her health bar over time. I think as she hits things, her auto attacks them. And when it's full, her next spell will fear the target. I think that could translate to a fighting game pretty decently. It'd probably be kind of annoying, but I don't think she'll be in the game. I think she would be a cool addition, though.
Cool. Hell yeah. I think her design's cool. She's tiny, so that'd be annoying, but
I give a lot of credit to Vex's League of Legends design, because in a world where like there's so many champions that have really power creeped kits with tons of passives and stuff, Vex's is very straightforward yet still unique.
Yeah, it's cool.
Vex's kit is really cool.
Also, very cool animations on that.
Yes.
Diego
is in the game.
I think he's definitely in the game at some point. I don't think he's in the game at launch.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
I think he absolutely has the DNA, and this is the other character aside from Kayn that I want to be in the game more than anything. And I think it's much more likely that he gets in the game than Kayn does. For what that's worth.
Who does Viego paired with typically?
Viego has ties to.
Viego.
Yeah, Viego has ties to Gwen and Hecarim and Thresh and Callista and
Senna, Lucian
and Senna and Akshan and
I
mean if you take the Sentinels event to be canon, Aurelia and Graves, and, Viego is pivotal.
He's central to the lore. He is the ruined king. He's the guy. So.
He is like the bad.
He's got
like
the blade.
He's got the blade.
He's got his own blade. Good for that guy.
Hey, you know who I've noticed isn't? Oh, yeah, she's just at the bottom. That's weird. Okay.
Victor,
I think he's got the sauce.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Victor's got the sauce. He's an arcane. He's a mage. He's cool. He's a very unique mage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Victor's in the game.
Yeah, I think he's got the DNA for it for sure. Vladimir.
Probably no shot.
No shot on Vlad. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Warwick has the DNA.
Actually, you know what? We're gonna go. Yeah, he's got the DNA.
I think Warwick has a strong. Yeah, I think Warwick has a strong potential of being on launch. Actually,
I do
Really?
too. I don't know that
Yeah.
I'm willing to call it. I think Warwick.
Let's get to that when we order the tier list.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Wukong.
if we're gonna be if so here are my argument for launch prediction.
Okay.
Keep in mind that like actual release is going to be very far away. I would be willing to bet that Arcane Season 2 at least is finished by then, maybe even Season 3. I would also be willing to bet money that Warwick is in Arcane Season 2. So I think he's going to be on a launch.
I think he's in for the same reasons I think Camille is in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at our roster right now, and it's pretty big. I don't think I still have another roster call I'm going to make for launch.
All right.
So-
All right. Okay, we could revisit.
Let's revisit it. But I think if
Yeah.
Camille is in, Warwick is in as well.
Wukong, I'm gonna put here. Unexpected
agree
but
with that.
welcome. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. He's the Monkey King. He's not related to anything that's going on in Arcane whatsoever, as far as I can tell, or anything really in any of these characters. It's
Not related to
related.
anything.
He's just a Monkey King.
Yeah, he's just. Hey, we need to make a Monkey King. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it came down to.
Yeah, he's Goku. So good for him. No
Zareth,
shot.
I think. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
I think so. Zareth has a lot of ties to Azir. I think he's also a very he's as true mage as a mage can get.
Yeah.
He's also a stationary character, which I don't think is gonna work out in like the 2v2
That's true.
style that they're going for. So at most, I'm willing to put him here because he's like his fantasy is hunkering down in one spot and becoming an artillery guy. That's his thing.
That's true.
So I just don't think that is going to be like, what if he was in a fighting game and he's just raining down hellfire as like an assist? That sounds awful.
Fair enough.
So, or maybe it sounds great depending on who you are. Xin Zhao.
I think he's unexpected but welcome. I think he's
Yeah.
got the DNA for it, but I don't think it's likely that he's in the game.
I just don't see a lot of character relationships with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what character relationships he does have, and I think in a
He's
2v2 game,
Zero.
those are more important than anything, really.
He's
Yeah.
really. That's it.
Let's see.
Yasuo is in the game.
Yasuo. You think he's
Yasuo is
in
in
on launch?
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
I don't think I agree with
Yasuo is so popular, like atomically popular. Yasuo fills a niche that is not found in the launch roster. He is up there with Akali for the most popular Ionia rep. I feel extremely strongly that Yasuo is there on launch. Like, Yasuo in a fighting game would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yasuo would be so fun to play.
yeah. No, he's also like the Wind Samurai, which is cool as shit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Yasuo's cool.
I think he's launch. I've felt stronger about Yasuo being in a launch than anyone else throughout the entire time.
that. Wow.
All right then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave
I-
it there for you, Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now Yone.
Yone is DLC. He will be in the game.
Yeah, he's got
but-
DLC moves in League of Legends. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yone is DLC for sure.
yeah. He's a DLC character. Look at him, dude. He's a DLC character, 100%. He's like,
He's cool,
or
he's
he's
cool.
like a final boss character for Yasuo's
Yeah.
story mode. Like, yeah, he's got the DNA. He's a cool samurai guy. But yeah, he's DLC for sure. Look at that guy. No shot on Yorick, I don't think.
I was
Oh,
thinking
man.
of Yorick as the other puppet character, actually.
Really?
Oh yeah, I could see that. I don't think he'll be in the game as much as I want him
I
to
don't
be.
think he'll be in the game.
Although,
but-
all right, hear me out. Here's probably the only reason why they put York in the game. He is canonically, surprisingly, the antithesis to Viego. They did not really demonstrate this in their whole story business, which is really unfortunate. But his whole shtick is to defeat the Ruined King, basically, and like stop the ruination. It's unfortunate that they didn't do anything with it, but there's probably a little bit of an argument that if Viego's in the game, York could be in the game. I don't think he'll be in there, but background character seems reasonable.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
background character is likely.
I think that's as far as he goes. I definitely, if he's in any case, he's not playable. His fantasy is just best in League of Legends. So
I'd probably agree with that. Yeah.
Yumi,
yeah.
no shot.
Yeah. Zach.
Zach,
Yeah,
would love to see Zach.
yeah, Zach would be really cool. Yeah, I'd
That'd be
agree with
awesome.
that. That'd be sick.
Yeah, Zach would be cool.
that would be so fun. Zed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat.
He does. Yeah. He's such a fast ninja. Teleports. He's got but it's a predictable teleport because it's not one way, but you have a telegraph for where it's gonna go. You can manipulate if he could manipulate where he shoots his shuriken in different angles that the shadow would follow, just like in League and a fighting game. I think this character's fantasy is totally enhanced by being in a fighting game. And in 2v2, God, he'd be so fun. I feel like I would probably want to put time into this character if they put him in the game. So
yeah, Zed. Also, look at him.
Yeah, look at him. He's the antithesis to Shen.
He is
true.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
Yeah, they hate each other. So he's got to be in there. If Shen's in there, then he's got to be there for
Zed's
sure.
more likely in there than Shen.
You know what? We're gonna drop
No.
him. Yep, it's gonna happen. Zed's too cool. Get owned, Shen.
Damn.
Zell.
There is.
There's Zeri.
Zell.
Zeri.
Zell isn't to transfer money.
Yeah, I don't think Zeri will be in the game.
No Zeri.
She's a background character at best.
All right, I'm gonna put her in no shot because I hate her. I have no reason to hate her. I just hate her.
Ziggs could be cool, dude.
Could he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think?
There is an argument for Ziggs, if only because they leaned into him for the whole mobile game thing.
Yeah.
He is the face of League of Legends mobile game.
Yeah.
Well, there's Wild Rift, but
And Runeterra.
I think there's a chance that he's in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
unexpected. I'd like to see him.
He's cool.
Great character. Look at that smile.
Yeah.
Good smile.
He's a psychotic Yordle.
Yeah. Unwelcome.
I think Zillion could be cool. Really?
I don't want him. His revive mechanic sounds annoying, and
The revive mechanic does sound awful, but the clocks sound really cool.
I just don't think. I don't know what his fantasy is as a League character, other than abusing the mechanics of the game.
So
You know
he
what
is
I mean?
he's essentially a Shuriman god.
Too powerful.
He's in charge of time.
Yeah.
I think you could make the case that maybe at some point there's somehow shenanigans between him and Echo, but that's a pretty big reach.
Then I'm gonna put him at most here, because
I think that's fair.
he's just so. If he's a god, he's too powerful.
I mean, he's a
to be-
god in the same way that Renekton and Nasus are.
Yeah, but
I just don't want him in the game.
yeah, I don't really want him in the game either. But
I don't really see him
I don't want him
feeling
to be
anything
playable.
well.
Yeah. Zoe,
Zoe, unexpected and unwanted. Get her out of here.
get her
Hate
out.
guts.
I could see her being a background character along the lines of all the other Targon characters.
Probably.
Uh,
I'm willing to put her there.
ugh.
She's cute.
Zyra.
Zyra. Let's see.
No shot for me on that
yeah,
one.
I don't.
You're right.
What
I
the
agree.
heck is this character?
That's Belveth. Belveth is the
Mhm.
embodiment of the void, and I think she has the DNA for it. Lots of
Mm.
dashes, lots of knockups, turns into a giant void manta ray thing. I think she's got a DNA for it.
Do we want her in?
I'm less inclined to agree. She just doesn't.
I'm like.
I don't know if it's because she's so new, but there's just so many other characters that have priority over her.
I
I'd say.
think there are. I would agree with that, but I think she is such a wide concept and has so much
She's very wide. I agree.
cool evil shit that she could be a really cool character. Outside of her League kit, part of her passive is to summon the Voidlings when she's got her ult on, right? You could attack people with, a stampede of Voidlings. You could throw Voidlings.
Is that better in a 2D fighting game compared to League?
I think they're about equal, honestly, and I think Belveth narratively is going to be a really big part of the lore.
Yeah.
Because
Really? You think so?
she is the embodiment of the void. If they don't do something with Belveth, that means everything to do with the void, including Malzahar and Kaisa and Kassadin and Kha'Zix, it's all a dead end.
So that's why I think she's going to be a background character at most, because she'd be a great final boss or NPC or something like that. but I don't see her being any kind of playable character that would fulfill that kind of like fantasy. Like, I get excited thinking about playing as Darius in a fighting game. I do not get excited the same way as like this whole list of characters. You know what I mean? I just can't see myself being like, fuck yeah, Belveth, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not because Belveth is new, it's just because like their character doesn't, I don't know. I'd rather just play Darius, you know what I mean?
I think that they're honestly, my personal hard read about Belveth is that they're gonna scrap any reference to her going forward. I don't think she's really gonna be that pivotal to the story, despite being this alleged Void Empress or whatever.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Last character is this
No.
one. No,
I-
unwelcome.
Get her.
DNA. She's fast. She has a water whip.
She's just boring. She has no tie-in to literally anything in the story.
She's from like another dimension or something, isn't it?
No, she's from Ionia.
No, she's not.
I will pull this up right now.
We're gonna have a lore battle right here, folks.
Where is Nyla from? Pasadena, Maryland.
Oh my god.
That's the thing that comes up.
I love that.
Nyla is an ascetic warrior from a distant land,
I see
the world's
that,
deadliest, most titanic opponents, so that she might challenge and destroy them. Having won her power through an encounter with the long-imprisoned demon of joy, she has no emotions other than an unceasing
What the
jubilation.
Man,
A small price to pay for the vast strength she now possesses. Channeling the demon's liquid form into a blade of unparalleled might, she stands defiant against ancient threats long forgotten.
Wow, I had no idea that was her lore. That sounds awful.
Her lore is actually really cool.
That's even more of a reason why that she's not going to be in the game. She has literally no tie-in to anything happening in Runeterra.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that this was her lore. It's just she's just like fucking OC character, like guy. Don't steal.
I think the idea.
Like, I just wanted to make this person.
I think the idea is that they're going to dive into more of the world aside from what we know of Runeterra.
Yeah.
But I think the most compelling argument is that she doesn't have
Ties to other characters.
to other
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah. Okay. So at this point, we have crafted the tier list. We have all the characters on the list. At this point, we probably just want to reorder it based on their likelihood of getting into the game as soon as possible.
Okay.
To which
So
case, I'm gonna do like this, and like
Really?
this.
I think.
Yasuo is above Camille, I think.
But
like-
above like Garen, Jace, Lucian, or are we still
Maybe not
reordering?
above
We're
Garen
still
and
reordering.
Lucian.
Okay.
I think
I
Jace is like here.
Well, if these are launch predictions, then the order doesn't matter too much, right?
Probably
launch.
not as much.
But we could be wrong.
Yeah, we could very well be wrong, and I'd rather have it ordered in some way of like, these are the characters that I think are most likely to be on launch, and the further you get, the less likely they are.
Alright.
So,
You gotta-
bonk, and then
We have some
bonk,
hard evidence for him.
and then I'm thinking like this.
So let's talk about Camille and Warwick.
Okay.
I feel like both of those are kind of based on the idea that they're going to be involved in some way in Arcane Season 2,
Yes.
which I think is a safe assumption.
Yeah.
But do we think that release at all coincides? Do we think people care enough? Like, I don't know. I would love to see Camille there. I think she's a really cool character. I think especially if they dive into her in Arcane.
I think the launch prediction is just such a hard read with this one, but her fantasy would be so much. It would be expanded a lot in a fighting game. Like, I'm getting excited thinking about playing as her, so
Yeah.
I want to keep her there.
Okay.
I think this list is good so far. Let's go to the DNA. Who's at the top of DNA? It's this guy, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's
There you
him.
go.
And then
Probably Riven after that.
Victor's up there. Riven's up there. Let's see.
Han's up there.
Zed's up there for sure.
I know. I just barely mentioned this. This is my read, and maybe it's a hot take. I do not think Camille will be on launch. I do think Warwick will be on launch. I think
Swap these two.
I think I can easily split that difference. Like, that's I think
swap
Warwick is more iconic than Camille is.
Warwick is in the show.
He's not though, is he?
He's Vi's dad. Like, that's
But
the
is
whole.
that confirmed?
Yeah, there's the whole like sound of the howl that you hear afterwards, and doesn't her dad have like some wolf related name or something?
That's
Yeah. He's Warwick. I 100% think Warwick's gonna be on launch.
Yeah, I think
I'm
Warwick's
putting
more
there.
like the Camille, but I want Camille near the top of the DNA because Camille was made for a fighting game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Camille. Camille's like, I remember when Camille came out, and I was just in love with how she played.
Yeah,
So
she's
I'd
so
love to
cool.
see her in.
Let's see.
I think Aurelia's got to be higher.
Okay. Anyone else need to be higher?
Kane needs to be higher.
Kane.
But that's fine.
I'm kind of liking how the list is ordered in general, because we like kind of paired some characters together while we were going.
I think Alistar and Blitzcrank are above Zed.
Really?
Yeah, I'd actually even say that they're above Camille. I honestly fully think that like Blitzcrank is gonna be one of the first characters that they would release after launch. I can really picture playing him, and I could picture him being fun to play.
Yeah, same. I'll put Silas up there. I'll put him right.
Kha'Zix is like, people love Kha'Zix.
Yeah, I could see Kha'Zix being pretty early on.
I'm gonna do like this, and these guys got to stay together because that's their best friends. Gragas is probably down here.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Really? You think so? I think he's
Yeah.
higher than all the characters,
I
truthfully.
think Pike's down there with him.
But
Yeah,
not
I think so
not a
too.
hill I'd die on. I think Lee Sin's way higher.
Lee Sin's like up here.
Oh, shit, I'd put him on row 1. We got like a Zir up there. I love the idea of Zir,
Yeah,
but I
you're
don't
right.
think. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna move these down for now.
Yeah. I like this placement for Lee Sin. I could probably argue higher than Zed, but
Ezreal's good. Irelia's good. I'm not crazy about Kane being there.
yeah, he's probably like more row 3.
I think he's row 2.
Yeah.
Don't break my heart.
I think he's like there.
Okay. I do think Gwen is probably above him, just barely.
Which is annoying, but
Hey,
Yeah.
Jarvan.
I think Kindred is probably above them too. Kindred's
No.
got the arcane rep, so you don't think so?
Kindred's
Kindred
in
gonna-
Kane.
Yeah, they have references to Kindred with the Kindred cult. So yeah. You know how how Ryan and Caitlyn are going through like
I'm
the,
honestly not thinking they would be good. I'm thinking they're like here, honestly.
Alright, okay.
I don't know why. I'm just like, the Kindred cult sounds so in the background.
Well, it's in the background in season 1.
Yeah. I just don't see the playable aspect.
Word.
We have Ezreal up here. Nidalee.
I think she's fine. I think she's a real coin flip.
I'm
I
actually
think Pantheon needs to be a lot higher.
Pantheon.
Pantheon.
Yeah.
and Olaf probably.
I'm
I think
probably gonna
Olaf
move
will be-
Fiora down and Olaf up.
Oh man, I want
Here.
Samira in the game so bad that I want to say like way higher.
I think that's accurate. I understand why you want that, but I don't think it's accurate. And I don't think
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Yone
water.
is like up here, I think. He's just such a DLC character. And if we have Yasuo in, then he's I like this part. I think this is good for the most part. Maybe move these two down here because they're tiny.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
move these two up like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Unexpected.
I don't think the rest. I don't think we need to order
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
we probably
These
don't.
are long shots.
Yeah. Everything else is pretty much a long shot. We'll see what happens. But that's the tier list. Yeah, this has been super fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and making this list. I hope you
It was
guys
a
had
good
fun.
time. I
If-
just want to say, like, the more I think about it, the more the lore they've created for League is really awesome. I want to see
Oh yeah.
more of that expanded because I think it's probably the game's biggest strength.
Mhm.
Like the IP in general. It's
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
And I just want to say, if Riven isn't in this game, I'm not playing it.
Let's see. Next time we're gonna league some legends, I guess.
Oh,
Y'all
really?
have a good
Are
one.
you now?
No.